Where I go is none of your business, Paul. My name is Paul Chin, and those 8 words ended my marriage before my wife even walked out the door. I'm standing in our bedroom doorway watching Melissa apply makeup she's been working on for 45 minutes, the kind of careful, deliberate application she hasn't done for me in over 2 years. The dress is new. Black, fitted, expensive. I've never seen it before, and I handle our credit card statements every month. Date night? I ask, keeping my voice casual, almost bored. She doesn't even turn around. I said it's none of your business. Her hand trembles as she fastens diamond earrings, the one she told me 3 months ago that she'd lost at the gym. I remember that conversation clearly because she cried about it, said they were from her grandmother. I almost bought her replacements. Almost. I notice everything now. The new perfume that smells nothing like the vanilla scent she's worn for 7 years. The way she angles her body away from me, protective, secretive. The phone that never leaves her sight anymore, always face down, always on silent. This is the 3rd Thursday in a row. The first Thursday I said nothing. Watched her leave at 7:30, return at midnight smelling like wine and cologne that wasn't mine. The second Thursday I asked where she was going. She laughed, actually laughed, and said, "Girls' night with Sarah." I almost believed her until I checked Instagram later and saw Sarah posting stories from her living room, pajamas on, kids climbing all over her. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I already know who it is before I check. Unknown number. The text is simple, "She just left. Should I follow?" I type one word back, "Yes." Melissa glances at my reflection in her vanity mirror. For a moment our eyes meet. She looks cold, distant, like she's already mentally left this house, this marriage, this life we built. There's something else too, disappointment. Like she expected me to fight, to rage, to give her the drama that would justify whatever she's about to do. Instead, I just nod and walk back to my laptop in the living room. She pauses, lipstick in hand. I can feel her watching me leave. Then I hear the click of the tube closing, the rustle of her grabbing her purse, the sharp, precise clicks of heels on hardwood. The front door opens. Closes. Her car starts in the driveway. I open my laptop and pull up the contract I signed 2 weeks ago. AM Investigations, Andrew Mitchell, licensed PI. 2 weeks ago was the first Thursday. Please, before I continue, kindly like, share and subscribe for more interesting videos. I met Melissa 7 years ago at a corporate charity gala I didn't want to attend. I was 27, a financial analyst at a mid-tier firm, wearing a rented tux and nursing a glass of champagne I hadn't touched. She was 27 too, working as a marketing director's assistant, and when she smiled at me across the silent auction table, I forgot how to breathe. We married 10 months later. Fast, everyone said. Too fast. My lawyer, David Wu, insisted on a prenuptial agreement. "Paul, you're sitting on assets she doesn't know about. Protect yourself." I was embarrassed to tell him the truth, that I had money Melissa knew nothing about because I was terrified she'd see me differently if she knew. My grandfather had left me $1.2 million when I was 24. I turned it into $3.2 million through careful investments and an algorithm I'd sold to a hedge fund when I was 19. But I lived like I made $68,000 a year because I'd watched my father lose everything in a divorce when I was 12. I watched him cry in a studio apartment while my mother took the house, the cars, half his business. So I drove a 2011 Honda. Shopped at Costco. Worked my 9 to 5. And when David drew up the prenup, I made him include one specific clause. In the event of infidelity proven by photographic evidence, the unfaithful party forfeits everything. Melissa signed it in David's office, barely reading it. "This is insulting, Paul. You don't even have that much money." She skimmed the pages, annoyed, impatient. Signed with a flourish. "Happy now?" I nodded quietly. I didn't tell her about Section 7. I didn't tell her about the $3.2 million sitting in accounts she'd never seen statements for. Now, sitting in my living room, I pull up my banking app. Our joint account shows $87,430. Money from both our salaries combined over 7 years. My private account, the one with my real money, shows $3,847,293. The number has grown. Good investments. Patient investments. My phone rings. "Andrew, you're gonna want to see this tonight," he says. His voice is flat, professional. "Don't wait until morning." "Where are you?" "Downtown. Hotel Marcella." "You know it?" "I know it. 5-star. $400 a night minimum." Melissa and I stayed there once, 3 years ago for our anniversary. She complained the entire time that the room was too small. "I'll be there in 20 minutes, I tell him. I grab my keys, my wallet, and lock the door behind me. Andrew's silver Camry is parked across the street from the Hotel Marcella, engine running, windows tinted dark enough that I can barely see his silhouette until I open the passenger door. He's 40-something, former cop, the kind of man who notices everything and says little. He hands me a tablet before I even sit down. She met him at Russo's first, he says. That Italian place on 5th Street. Got there at 7:50. He was already waiting. I look at the first photo. Melissa in that black dress walking into the restaurant, smiling. Not the polite smile she gives grocery store clerks or distant relatives. The real one. The one that used to be mine. Champagne, Andrew continues, swiping to the next image. Oysters. They shared a plate. He fed her one. The photo shows exactly that. Derek, I don't know his name yet, but I will, holding a fork to Melissa's mouth. Her eyes are closed. Intimate. Familiar. This isn't their first time. They stayed 90 minutes, Andrew says. Talked, laughed. She touched his hand a lot. Leaned in close. I swiped through more photos. Melissa throwing her head back, laughing at something he said. I haven't seen her laugh like that in over a year. Maybe longer. When did we stop laughing? When did I become invisible to her? Then they came here. Andrew points through the windshield at the hotel entrance. 10:47 p.m. Timestamps on the photo. I swipe again. There they are, entering the lobby. His hand is on her lower back, proprietary, confident. She leans into him. They don't look around, don't act guilty. They look like a couple. My chest tightens, but my hands stay steady. I've known for 2 weeks this was happening. Suspected for longer. This isn't shock, it's confirmation. The man, I say quietly. Do you have his name? Andrew nods, pulls out a small notepad. Derek Lansing. 36. Married. 2 kids, both under 10. Works at Hartwell and Associates. Partner level. Makes about $270,000 a year. Hartwell and Associates. The name hits me like cold water. That's where Melissa interviewed last month. Yep. She didn't get the job. But she got him. I zoom in on one photo. Melissa and Derek in his car, pulled over in some parking garage. They're kissing. Her hand is in his hair. The timestamp says 10:34 p.m., 13 minutes before they entered the hotel. I close my eyes. When I open them, Andrew is watching me carefully. You okay? Send me everything, I tell him. Every photo, every timestamp, every location. I need it by 6 a.m. tomorrow. You got it? He hesitates. What are you gonna do? I hand him back the tablet and open the car door. Something I should have done a long time ago. Friday morning, 5:30 a.m. I'm standing in our garage with Marcus Webb, my best friend since college and the only person I've told about any of this. He's a locksmith by trade, owns his own business, and right now he's installing new deadbolts on every door of my house. You sure about this, man? Marcus asks, testing the front door lock with a new key. I hand him an envelope with $2,000 cash. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Marcus pockets the money and moves to the back door. I head upstairs to our bedroom, my bedroom now I suppose, and pull Melissa's expensive luggage set from the attic. The honeymoon suitcases. We took them to Bali 7 years ago, right after the wedding. That was the trip where things started to change. She complained about the heat, the food, the hotel. Nothing was good enough. I thought it was just stress from the wedding. I packed methodically. Her dresses, the new black one included. Her shoes arranged by type. Her makeup, her jewelry, her expensive skincare products she orders from France. As I'm clearing out her nightstand drawer, my hand hits something hard wedged behind her charging cables. A burner phone. Cheap Android, no case. I power it on. 47 text messages from a contact labeled simply D. I don't read them all. I don't need to. The first one says enough. Can't wait to see you Thursday. I'll get the usual room. The usual room. I turn off the phone and pack it with her things. Next, I open my banking app. Our joint account, $87,430. I transfer $87,425 to my private account, leaving exactly $5. Then I do something else, something viewers won't understand until later. I screenshot every transaction from the past 8 months. Every dinner she said was work networking. Every shopping trip that seemed excessive. Every hotel charge I never questioned. Marcus finishes the last lock. She's gonna lose it when she gets home. I check my watch. 6:47 a.m. She won't be home until after 9. I'll be gone by then. I load my essentials into my car. Laptop, important documents, clothes for a week. I'm staying at Marcus's apartment. By 7:15 I'm pulling out of the driveway. I leave Melissa's 3 suitcases lined up on the front porch like soldiers waiting for orders. In the largest suitcase pocket I tape a white envelope. Inside is a single photo. Melissa and Derek entering the Hotel Marcella, timestamp visible, his hand on her back. No note. No explanation. Just evidence. 9:47 p.m. I'm at Marcus's apartment, sitting on his couch with my laptop open, watching our home security camera feed on my phone. I installed cameras 6 months ago after we had a package stolen. Melissa knows about the doorbell camera. She doesn't know about the ones covering the porch and driveway. An Uber pulls up. Melissa steps out, still in that black dress, phone in hand, texting. She's smiling. Humming. I can't hear it but I can see it in the way she moves, loose and happy in a way she hasn't been around me in years. She reaches the front door. Reaches for her keys. Slides the key into the lock. It doesn't turn. I watch her face change. Confusion first. She tries again, jiggles the key, pushes harder. Then she steps back and really looks at the door. That's when she sees them. 3 suitcases. Her suitcases. She stumbles backward like she's been pushed. Grabs the porch railing. Then she sees the envelope. Marcus is sitting across from me eating Chinese takeout, pretending not to watch. You really did it, he says quietly. On my phone screen, Melissa rips open the envelope. Even in the grainy night vision feed, I can see her knees buckle. She grabs her phone. My phone rings on the couch beside me. Melissa calling. I let it ring. What? Twice. It goes to voicemail, the one I recorded this afternoon. You've reached Paul. I'm unavailable. Permanently. I chose that word carefully. Permanently. She tries the door again, pounding now. No sound on the feed but I can imagine it. Paul? Paul, open this door. She's screaming at a house I'm not in, at a man who's already 3 steps ahead of wherever she thinks this is going. She tries calling again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Then she does something that almost makes me laugh. She tries her key one more time, as if the lock will magically work on the 4th attempt. As if she can force reality to bend back to what it was this morning. It doesn't work. She sits down on the porch steps, head in her hands. Her phone glows in the darkness as she starts making more calls. Marcus looks at me. You okay? I close the laptop. Ask me in a week. Melissa calls Sarah first. I know because I called Sarah this afternoon at 2 p.m., sent her 3 photos and explained everything. Sarah cried on the phone, not for Melissa but for me. I had no idea, Paul. I'm so sorry. I thought you two were happy. On my security feed, Melissa is talking, animated, desperate. I imagine the conversation. Sarah saying she's at book club. Can this wait? There is no book club. Sarah hasn't spoken to Melissa in 3 days, not since I sent her the evidence. Next call, her sister Ashley. I sent Ashley the photos too, along with a simple message. Thought you should know what your sister's been doing. Ashley responded with, oh my God. Paul, I'm so sorry. Do you need anything? On the feed, Melissa's call lasts maybe 20 seconds. Ashley's phone is about to die. Another lie. Another door closed. Then Melissa makes a call that I didn't anticipate. A number she dials carefully like she's memorized it. Derek. What Melissa doesn't know. Derek's wife Jennifer found out about the affair yesterday morning. I didn't tell her. Andrew did as part of the service I paid for. Andrew showed up at Derek's house at 7 a.m. while Derek was at the gym. He handed Jennifer an envelope identical to the one I left for Melissa, along with his card. I thought you should know, he told her. I'm sorry. Jennifer answered Derek's phone this morning and has been answering it all day. On my screen, Melissa freezes mid-dial. Then her whole body goes rigid. She's not talking, she's listening. I imagine Jennifer's voice ice cold. Who is this? Melissa stammering some excuse. Jennifer cutting her off. This is Derek's wife. And I know exactly who you are. The line goes dead on Melissa's end. I can see it in the way she stares at her phone, face pale even in the night vision's green glow. She opens her banking app. I know because I'm logged into the same account on my laptop. I watch our joint balance refresh, $5. She enters her password wrong twice. Her hands must be shaking. Finally logs in. Stares at the screen. My phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Hotel Marcella has availability. Except you can't afford it. I didn't send that. Marcus grins at me. Couldn't help myself. On screen, Melissa reads the text. Looks up at the house. Looks back at her phone. She's putting it together now. The locks. The money. The photos. This was an impulse. This was planned. She stands up, grabs one suitcase and starts walking toward the street. The Holiday Inn on Route 9 is the kind of place that smells like chlorine and continental breakfast. Melissa pulls up in an Uber at 10:41 p.m. I know because she posted it on her private Instagram story, the one she thinks I can't see. I created a fake account 3 weeks ago. Just to watch. The front desk clerk is a young woman, maybe 22, working the night shift and barely paying attention until Melissa slides her visa across the counter. Declined. I transferred everything this afternoon. Joint credit cards, authorized user accounts, everything with my name as primary holder. I removed her as an authorized user on all of them. Called the companies, explained we were separating, needed accounts split. It took 47 minutes and 3 different customer service representatives, but it's done. Melissa tries her MasterCard. Declined. Her American Express, the one she uses for emergencies. Declined. The clerk's sympathetic smile fades. Ma'am, do you have another form of payment? Melissa's voice cracks. On her Instagram story, she films herself crying in the Uber afterward. I don't understand what's happening, she says to her phone, mascara running. There was money this morning. There was always money. There was money. Her phone buzzes. Email from American Express. Account holder Paul Chen has removed authorized user Melissa Charles from account number 4782. Balance transfer completed. If you have questions, please contact the primary cardholder. She reads it 3 times. I know because she screenshots it and posts it to her story with the caption, "What kind of person does this?" The kind who found your burner phone, Melissa. The kind who counted 47 messages from another man. The kind who's tired of being invisible. What Melissa doesn't know, what she's never known, is that I grew up watching my father destroyed by a woman he trusted. My mother took everything in their divorce. The house, the cars, half his business. I was 12, watching him cry in a studio apartment, eating ramen because he couldn't afford groceries. I swore 2 things that day: never marry without a prenup, and never let anyone see my real money until I knew they loved me for me. Melissa failed a test she never knew she was taking. The Uber drops her at her parents' house at 11:34 p.m. Douglas and Patricia Harrington live in the same house Melissa grew up in, a 4-bedroom colonial in the suburbs with a 2-car garage and a lawn Douglas obsesses over every weekend. I've had dinner there maybe 100 times over 7 years. Patricia always asks about kids. Douglas always talks about golf. I called them this afternoon too. Not to gloat. Not to explain. Just to warn them. Mr. Harrington, this is Paul. I wanted you to hear this from me first. Melissa and I are separating. She'll probably come to you tonight. I thought you should be prepared. Douglas was quiet for a long time. What happened, son? I've never heard him call me son before. It made my throat tight. She had an affair, sir. I have proof. I'm filing for divorce. Another long silence. Then, I see. Thank you for telling us. Now Melissa is standing at their front door at 11:34 p.m., makeup destroyed, still in her cocktail dress, dragging a suitcase. Patricia opens the door in a bathrobe, face creased with sleep. Melissa? What on earth? Melissa collapses. Full sobbing breakdown. Paul locked me out, took all the money. I don't have anywhere to go. Douglas appears behind Patricia, arms crossed. His voice is cold in a way I've never heard it. What did you do, Melissa? She can't answer through the crying. Patricia guides her inside, sets her up in the guest room, Melissa's childhood bedroom, still decorated with posters from high school and a shelf full of cheerleading trophies. I'm not there, of course. But Marcus's sister lives 3 houses down, and she texts me updates. Your wife just showed up at the Harringtons. Looks like she's been crying for hours. Doug looks pissed. Melissa lies in her childhood bed, staring at glow-in-the-dark stars she stuck to the ceiling when she was 12. Her phone is silent now. No calls. No texts. Everyone she knows has seen the photos or heard the truth. She's been erased from her own life in less than 6 hours. Downstairs, Douglas and Patricia argue. Marcus's sister can hear them through the walls. Douglas's voice carries, I told you she was spoiled rotten. Now look what she's done to that man. In her room, Melissa curls into a ball and cries harder. Day 2. Melissa calls me 16 times. Every call goes straight to voicemail. Day 3, she emails. Paul, please. We can talk about this. I made a mistake. Please just talk to me. I don't respond. My email auto-reply says, I'm currently unavailable and will respond to priority messages only. Day 4. She drives to my office building downtown, parks in the visitor lot, and tries to go up to the 15th floor where my desk is. Security stops her at the lobby. "I'm sorry, ma'am. Mr. Chin has requested that you be denied access to this floor. I made that call on Friday." Sends security her photo. "My wife and I are separating. She's not to be allowed up under any circumstances." The guard, a retired cop named Vernon, nodded grimly. "Understood, sir. We see this a lot. Sorry you're going through it." Melissa waits in the parking lot for 3 hours. I watch her on the security cameras from Marcus's apartment, where I'm working remotely. My boss approved it. "Take the time you need, Paul. Family comes first." I almost laughed. Family. She sits in her car, checking her phone, watching the building entrance. At 2 p.m. she finally leaves. I never came out because I was never there. At her parents' house that night, dinner is silent. Patricia makes pot roast, Melissa's childhood favorite. Melissa pushes food around her plate. Douglas reads the newspaper like she's not there. On day 5, morning, Melissa is drinking coffee in the kitchen when her father slides an iPad across the table. On screen, local news. Hartwell and Associates partner placed on leave amid affair allegations. Derek's wife didn't just file for divorce. She sent the evidence, photos, timestamps, hotel records, to Derek's firm's ethics board. Partners aren't supposed to sleep with job candidates. It's in his contract. Derek is being investigated for sexual harassment, misuse of company resources, and ethics violations. Melissa's stomach drops. We weren't. Douglas's voice is ice. "You weren't what, Melissa? Having an affair with a married man? Because that's exactly what you were doing." A FedEx truck pulls up outside. Melissa signs for a large manila envelope, her hands trembling so badly she can barely write her name. The envelope is heavy, official. Law Offices of Wu and Associates printed in the corner. David Wu, Paul's lawyer. Melissa's heart is already racing before she opens it. Inside, divorce papers. Filed 6 days ago, the day after Paul locked her out. Grounds, adultery. She reads that word 3 times. Adultery. It looks so ugly in legal print. Attached with a paperclip, the prenuptial agreement she signed 7 years ago in David Wu's office, barely reading it, annoyed that Paul insisted on it at all. She'd skimmed it, thought it was standard protection of asset stuff. "You don't even have that much money," she told him. Section 7 is highlighted in yellow now. Someone, probably David, made sure she'd see it. In the event of infidelity by either party, proven by photographic, video, or documented evidence, the unfaithful party forfeits all claims to marital assets, spousal support, alimony, and jointly acquired property. She signed this. Her signature is right there at the bottom, next to Paul's. Beneath the prenup, photographs. Dozens of them. Her and Derek at Russo's, laughing over champagne. Entering the Hotel Marcella, his hand on her back. Kissing in his car. Every single one has a date, time, and location stamped in the corner. February 6, 10:47 p.m. February 13, 10:52 p.m. February 20, 10:34 p.m. Someone was following her. For weeks. Her mother gasps behind her, reading over her shoulder. "Melissa, is this?" The last item in the envelope is different. It's not about the affair. It's a bank statement. Paul's personal account. Not the joint account they used for groceries and utilities. A private account Melissa never knew existed. Balance, $3,874,293. Melissa's world tilts. The papers slip from her hands. $3 million? Her voice doesn't sound like her own. Patricia grabs the paper, stares. Douglas comes into the kitchen, takes it from his wife's hands. His face goes red, then white. "He was a millionaire? And you?" He can't finish the sentence. "I didn't know," Melissa whispers. He drove that old Honda. We shopped at Costco." "Because he was smart," Douglas says. His voice is shaking. "And you threw away a smart, loyal, wealthy man for what? For some middle management scumbag with a wife and kids." At the bottom of the envelope, a handwritten note on Paul's personal stationery. The same stationery he used to write her love letters when they were dating. His handwriting, clean and precise. "You asked where you went. Now you know where you'll stay. Nowhere that's mine." Melissa sinks into a chair. She remembers now, dimly, signing that prenup. David Wu explaining something about infidelity clauses. She'd waved him off. "We're not going to cheat on each other. This is ridiculous." Paul hadn't said anything. Just watched her sign. He knew. Even then he was protecting himself. Day 7. Melissa figures out Paul is staying at Marcus's apartment. She saw a detail in the background of a Zoom meeting screenshot someone posted on LinkedIn. Marcus's distinctive vintage movie posters visible on the wall behind Paul. She shows up at 2 in the afternoon. Pounds on the door. Paul? I know you're in there. Please. I'm sitting on Marcus's couch, laptop open, coffee in hand. I've been expecting this. Marcus looks at me. You want me to? Let her say what she needs to say, I tell him. Then close the door. Marcus opens it. Melissa looks terrible. Unwashed hair, no makeup, wearing sweatpants and a jacket that's probably her father's. She's lost weight. Good. Maybe she's finally feeling a fraction of what I felt seeing those photos. She sees me on the couch, starts forward. Marcus blocks her. 2 minutes, Melissa. That's it. Paul, please. Her voice is wrecked. I made a mistake. A huge, terrible mistake. But we can fix this. 7 years, Paul. We can't just throw that away. I set down my coffee. Pull out my phone. Press record. Say what you need to say, Melissa. You have 2 minutes. Don't record this. 1 minute 50 seconds. She's crying now, ugly crying, the kind that makes your whole face red. I don't know what I was thinking. He made me feel special. Young. Alive. You were always working, always on your computer, and I felt invisible. You felt invisible. I almost laugh. I worked 60-hour weeks to build our future while you resented me for not being spontaneous enough. I saved money while you wanted luxury vacations we couldn't afford, or so you thought. I suggested we start trying for kids, and you said you weren't ready to be tied down. 2 months later you met Derek. Her face goes white. How did you? I pay attention, Melissa. I always have. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. 47 times according to your burner phone. 47 times you chose another man over your marriage. You went through my phone? Through it? Melissa, I hired someone to go through your things. Legally. With a private investigator's license and everything. You want to know the worst part? Derek called his wife the same night you were with him and told her he loved her. It's in the phone records. You were his Thursday night entertainment. Nothing more. She lunges forward. Marcus steps between us. Time's up. Paul, please. I stand. Walk to the door. Look at her one last time. You asked where you went. Here's your answer. You went somewhere I can't follow and wouldn't want to. And where you'll stay is nowhere that's mine. Sign the papers, Melissa. It's over. I close the door. Through the wood, we hear her collapse, sobbing so hard she can't breathe. Marcus locks the deadbolt. Damn, man. I sit back down. Open my laptop. She'll sign. She doesn't have a choice. I'm sitting in my new loft, floor-to-ceiling windows, downtown view, the kind of place I always wanted but denied myself because I was playing poor for someone who would have left me if I'd stayed that way. Minimalist furniture. No clutter. No memories of Melissa in every room. My phone buzzes. LinkedIn message. I almost ignore it, but the name catches my eye. Melissa Chin. Except her profile says Melissa Harrington again now. Back to her maiden name. I heard you're engaged. Congratulations. I hope she makes you happy. I don't respond. Instead, I open Instagram. Rachel, my fiancée, a financial advisor I met at an investment seminar 4 months ago, posted a photo of us hiking last weekend. Her caption, found someone who loves adventures and spreadsheets red heart. Rachel knows everything. I told her on our third date, showed her the divorce papers, the photos, all of it. I need you to know what happened, I said. I need you to know who I really am. She'd looked at me for a long time. Then said, you're someone who protected himself and didn't apologize for it. That's exactly who I want. We're getting married in October. Small ceremony. Just family and close friends. Marcus is my best man. My lawyer calls. Melissa's attorney tried one more time to contest the prenup. Judge threw it out. Said the agreement was ironclad and she signed it willingly with legal representation present. Sover Paul. Officially. I look out at the city skyline. It was over the moment she said it was none of my business. 6 months ago, Melissa moved to another state, Arizona, I heard, and blocked me on all platforms. Derek's divorce cost him $2.3 million and primary custody of his kids. His firm fired him 3 months ago. I don't feel bad about that. On my desk, a framed photo. Me and Marcus at my house closing last month. Behind us, my new front door with shiny new locks. I had a caption printed beneath it in my handwriting, always know your worth. Never let someone else define it. Rachel comes out of the bedroom, coffee in hand, smiling. Ready for breakfast? I close my laptop. Yeah, I'm ready. Some doors, once closed, stay locked forever. And sometimes that's exactly how it should be.